Welcome back to the Overwatch League, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we're back. Dylan Montecristo here with you for a really awesome match. It's going to be Seoul Dynasty taking on the Shanghai Dragons, and this one actually can have very big playoff implications.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these teams are fighting for their position in the playoffs, and with how many upsets we've been having, an upheaval in the post-roll lock meta, as you can see, Dynasty and Dragons there at the 7th and 8th position, so they have fallen out of the top 6.
Right.
And it's going to be hard for them to get back in there, especially the Dragons, who in spite of having more wins than losses, have that negative map differential, which means that they can theoretically fall out of the top 12 altogether.
Yeah, it's very true. And if you look at Seoul Dynasty, it's the other side of the story completely. They're at plus 14, actually a very good map differential despite being only 2 wins ahead of losses. So they could easily jump up and snag Spark's spot if they do well.
Yeah, the Spark win today was absolutely huge for them. They really needed that win to create some space between them and the rest of the pack because they do have that worst map differential currently in the top 6.
Yep, that's right. So we'll see. I mean, because that's the thing, is that like we have teams that could go in very different trajectories based on what happens today, and there's still a couple more maps to play, but or matches to play rather. We'll see. So let's talk about Seoul Dynasty for a second. This is a team, both of these teams have had their own unique struggles in different ways, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we've seen from Seoul has been switching out many players in the roster, and surprisingly, one of the players that we thought was going to be doing super well in a roll lock meta is Fleta, but he actually has the lowest team fight win rate out of any player on his team right now, so not playing Fleta may in fact be the ticket for Seoul.
Yeah, they've kind of struggled with Hanzo, it seems like, more than anything in a meta where you really do need a good Hanzo player. Both Illicit and Fleta haven't quite hit the mark as far as the peak that they could maybe hit, that maybe should be hitting. But we'll see what they can do today. It's time to introduce our teams for this series. Let's give it up first for the Seoul Dynasty.
Reppin' 82, I'm in Seoul City. Riding down the streets, got my homies with me. Pull up in a Rover, steady watching.
That's right, coming out with the Korean flag rather, because it is Gwangbokjeol in Korean, which is actually their Independence Day, basically, on this day way back 1945. The peninsula was liberated, and so they celebrate it on this day every year. Yep, there you go. It translates to about the equivalent of when the light came back is Gwangbokjeol.
Very poetic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so big day for South Korea. We'll see if that amounts to a big win for the Seoul Dynasty as they're starting things out with Fleta today over Illicit. What do you think about that?
I mean, I assume that we're going to see him play May. So
sure.
That means we'll just have to take another look at him, see if he's going to be doing a little bit better this week.
Right. Makes sense. Fitz, meanwhile, probably see, I don't know, a little bit of Reaper, a little bit of other things. That's right. And their opponents coming in. It's their day today as well. It's the Shanghai Dragons. Gansu with the wrecking ball
in the Shanghai Dragons color. That's a nice touch there, Gum.
I want to know. I'm kind of envious now of that, actually.
You can see why he's being so careful with it.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a one of a kind, I'm sure. So Shanghai Dragons, this is a team that obviously had a pretty great stage 3, didn't they? They kind of won it, right? Well, but since then it's been a little bit weird. It's been a bit rough.
Well, in many ways, the Shanghai Dragons in stage 2 and stage 3 were leaders in the meta. In stage 2, they started playing a lot of Sombra, which then resulted in many teams switching to 3-2-1 Sombra in stage 3. Yeah. And then in stage 3, they started innovating around triple DPS compositions, and that won them the stage. But now they're in a bit of trouble because their hero pools are a little weird for the current meta.
Right.
We have Youngjin in right now, but part of the problem is Youngjin was their Roadhog player previously, and they've had to sub in Geguri at times to try and play that Roadhog. Envy hasn't been a great Roadhog, but they acquired him to play more of that Diva role. So it seems like they haven't been able to put together the complete package, and they're lacking a good Mei player as well. And when you put Ding on the Mei, it does limit a lot of your other options if you want to go over to that Pharah. So it's been awkward with the hero pools that they have to put it together in the common compositions that we see in this metagame.
Yeah. Let's take a look at our map set brought to you by Toyota. See where these guys are going to battle it out today. It's going to be Ilios, our first map of the series, then going to Hanamura for our Assault map. Blizzard World will be the hybrid map after that. And finally, Route 66 for Escort. So, like we mentioned, 2 teams, good, talented teams, But with unique challenges in this 2-2-2 meta, Seoul seemingly kind of lacking the Hanzo, making a lot of roster changes between maps, and the Shanghai Dragons unable to really kind of decide who the DPS to pair with Ding is.
Yeah, and they've also just hardly been playing any Mei at all, though. I mean, they play
Very
Mei
strange in this meta.
Yeah, about 25% of the time,
Yeah.
whereas on the average in this league, Mei is played 59% of the time. So she's second only behind Orisa when it comes to playtime, because Mei Reaper, Mei Hanzo are so strong, and you only really see Mei eliminated when people are running double sniper compositions.
Yeah, look at this. Ding will be playing the Mei.
Yep.
Youngjin on the Hanzo as Shanghai rolls out. Seoul Dynasty, meanwhile, going for the Pharah Widowmaker look. On their DPS duo, it's going to be Michelle and the Roadhog as well. And getting the hook already. Gamsu pulled in, but they got the Mei wall there to protect him. Meanwhile, Michelle takes a lot of damage, Seoul has to back away, and Seoul kind of on the outside looking in here. Let's see who wins a sniper duel. Fitz turning around, firing at the Lucio instead, and taking down Ding. That's a big one. Now he can turn his attention back onto the Hanzo, but Youngjin already running, not far enough though, as he gets chased down. No wall walk for you. Going 6 feet under, buddy, and Seoul Dynasty takes that first fight in style. Nice D-Mech on the end, and the kill out of the mech, and yeah, leave him out of there, man. Make him end it.
Yeah, this is a big composition.
Yeah.
Fleta's there softening up targets to get them low enough for Fitz to pick off here on the Widowmaker. In the past, historically in this league, we have seen Ruins as a Widowmaker map because it's a very linear map with long sight lines, and you can see the poke damage coming through already with Fleta having that barrage up and waiting. Now, Shanghai Dragons are going to switch to the Reaper. Might strike you as a bit odd against this long-range comp, but what they want to do is get onto the point and camp it and hide and force the Seoul Dynasty to come to them.
Yep, that's right. A kill already comes in. Loki down, and Michelle gets one to coma, so no supports for the Shanghai Dragons, and yeah, that's your exit right there. You gotta get out. They're gonna nano boost Michelle to try to finish this one off, but no chance for Shanghai Dragons as far as taking the point back this time around.
Well, they nano boosted Michelle because Youngjin got nano boosted as well, was standing next to Michelle, dealing a lot of damage, so helps that give them a little bit of healing and damage reduction to survive the Reaper and make sure that they're able to take this battle. So Seoul Dynasty looking really dominant.
Youngjin did get the Reaper up to 80% of that Death Blossom right now, so this next push, you know, theoretically could be Shanghai Dragons' chance to really kind of go all in. Well, maybe not. Never mind. Never mind. Lucio's dead. Defense matrix there for a little bit, but the damage still comes through. Goodbye, Gamsu. Marvel picks one up there, and Fleta looping around for a few finishing blows. I don't think, Loopy not going to last too much longer, and Seoul Dynasty looking nothing but dominant on the first round here on Ilios.
And those of you who are new to the Overwatch League in the 2019 season, you may not be used to Fleta's Pharah, but Fleta was...
I don't think anyone's ever gotten used to Fleta's Pharah.
You know, unequivocally the best Pharah that we had last season, and he hasn't been in the same form, obviously, because of the 3-3 meta that we had, but this is a pretty spectacular carry performance here from Fleta.
Yeah, Loopy trying to escort his team into the point with the Coalescence. It's done now. Here comes the Blizzard. It's going to go down, but it doesn't seem to trap a whole lot of people here. Marvel did drop, and it might be enough to flip the point. Shanghai Dragons does get some control percent building.
Yeah, but the only thing that Seoul used was the infra site, right?
Sure.
Shanghai Dragons got it pretty efficiently because they only had to drop that Blizzard to get the initial pickoff. So Seoul going to make some changes now. Fitz.
Ooh, all right.
Going to the Doomfist. Michelle looking for the Diva. Right, a little bit of, I think they're aware that the Death Blossom is there, so getting a little bit more protection.
Well, you're just not going to get a lot of value from the hook with like a Moira, a Reaper, Mei on the other side, like even a Risa as Fortify, so you're just not going to get a lot of those one hook, one kill situations, you know, right? When you just hit him with rockets anyway, why not? There's a nano boost. It's going to boost up the barrage, and the sound barrier comes down, but I don't know if that's an ult I would have dedicated right there because he goes right through it. Youngjin taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down as well. They save his Death Blossom, but Seoul Dynasty going to take the point right back.
Pretty convincing 99%. First round here from the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Seoul Dynasty secures it.
Fleta's going to end that round participating in 20 of his team's 25 eliminations on that map, and with 46% of his team's damage, casual 19,476 damage per 10 minutes and 25 direct rocket hits. So there you go, Fleta. There is a very, very good Pharah performance for you.
Yep, that is the Fleta of old, returned again. the 2019
Yeah.
season now.
I'm sure it's weird for some people who were not fans last season to hear us just wax poetic about Fleta, but he
Quite
was
poetic.
he was so dominant last
was.
year.
Yeah, that's true. And this is a player too, Fleta, that's his history in Korean Overwatch was really kind of being on one of the worst teams and being the only bright spot on that team.
And ridiculously hard carrying them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to see him on a team that can kind of keep up. At this point, Seoul Dynasty has had a pretty solid season. Really looking at a possibility of getting into that top 6 for the playoffs.
And this is really exciting, Doa, because we get Fleta versus Ding on the Pharah. Ding, who's been our best Pharah player this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ding's been
This is the
phenomenal on
matchup
this
you
far.
want. This is actually really hype.
Well, this is the player on the hero that, delivered Shanghai Dragons their stage 3 victory here. That said, Shanghai Dragons trying to contest the point early on board with Fleta right now as he looks for shots on the ground and tries to avoid shots from the air. Going in onto Ding. Oh, Youngjin finished off a Marvel, but Ding is not going to have it from Fleta. That's a 1v1 going the way of Shanghai Dragons in the air, and they're going to take it on the ground too.
And the issue is when they're running into the Doomfist, Doa, they have to get the Orisa and the Roadhog on the point and maybe Jaehong on the Ana, but they don't have a lot of presence, so Youngjin is going to be terrifying in those close range situations when he's being followed in and protected by the Diva.
Yeah.
Nice shot
A nice
from Fitz.
big shot on Nakoma, getting rid of that Mercy. Not too bad if you want to retake the point. How fast, though, can Seoul Dynasty capitalize on that? That's
Got
the
both of
question.
them.
All right, Pharmacy eliminated. Closed for business for the moment, and there goes Kamsu as well. Seoul Dynasty getting the picks, but they got to get to the point. Come back here.
I mean, this hasn't
Not done
turned
yet.
into a capture, Doa, and that's
Not
the
yet.
issue.
That's a weird thing. Nobody's even tried to approach the point yet from Seoul Dynasty.
Well, they can't. Like, they killed, like, the thing is, the targeting onto Marvel meant that they didn't have anybody who could actually walk onto the point right there because Michelle was getting harassed at the same time.
Now
So
let it down.
simply by eliminating these tanks, Shanghai has maintained control of this point.
Yeah. 53% and counting. Fleta does get resurrected by the Seoul Dynasty. Toby very close to the Valkyrie. Mercy ultimate.
Koma just popped Valkyrie from spawn to get into the mix faster.
All right, expecting Seoul to be aggressive, but now they can just wait it out. They're like, all right, yeah, we'll let you have that one. Better take a few more seconds, but there goes Fitz. Youngjin finding the kill. He got slept for his trouble, but might be okay. Gets away at the very end. Fleta gets the nano boost. He's still in trouble. The healing comes through, but not able to really get any kills off of that. Not yet, anyway. Supercharger for Shanghai keeps the Dynasty at bay. It's getting very awkward for Seoul. As good as round number 1 was, man, it's looking rough. Youngjin with another kill onto Michelle, and we're at 90%, and Seoul Dynasty has barely brushed the point in this round.
The elimination's coming in now, however, Ding will get resurrected. So Shanghai still struggling to make it over.
Seoul, tried to flip it. They got really close, actually. They do. They finally get the percentage at 99. Shanghai Dragons gets muscled off and just loses it. Michelle with the kill onto Ding here. Is there going to be a res for Fitz? I don't know if Kobe can get there in time. Doesn't seem like he really can. He's going to try. We'll see. Meanwhile, it's going to be the whole hog coming in from Michelle, pushing each other back, though. And Youngjin going to take out Fleta with the Meteor Strike. Michelle down. Shanghai Dragons looking to capitalize here. They're going to flip it back at 99 and really got that hit on the Toby.
Yeah, tried to time that right, but couldn't quite get it. However, there's so many dragons around the point right now. All 6 are alive.
That's right.
Not anymore.
Where are the dragons? Daenerys Targaryen doesn't need to wonder anymore. They're all at the point. And they're going to take it. Oh, maybe. Marvel gets a kill to Luffy. Seoul Dynasty, last-minute effort to try to flip it back. And with a kill on Nakoma, this could get a little bit crazy here. Ding gets a barrage and he's down. I think Seoul might be able to take this one back.
They're going to take it back, Joe.
Wow.
The rest of the Shanghai Dragons are on the retreat, but Jaehong may not have wanted to use the nano boost in that scenario because look how many ults the Shanghai Dragons are coming back with
Sure, I
for
think
this
they
next
feel-
engagement.
I think they feel pretty confident giving that one over,
Yes.
where they're going to come back with such a strong ult economy, and they've got time, too. Seoul barely breaking 40% now.
Especially Marvel having to swap over to that Wrecking Ball to make it back in time. It's not a hero without that ultimate that is going to be particularly good at trying to stick to this point.
Well, that's a lot of damage on the Kamsu. Fortifies, gets away with like 25 HP. Close call. They dropped the supercharger as well, but Fleta's down now. Seoul Dynasty still gaining percent, but short-handed as Fitz drops as well. No more DPS. Fleta does get res. They've got one back in action here. Though. Elfman. Oh no! Marvel tried to get back on, but it was like billiards, and Youngjin sent him right back into the corner pocket. And now Dragons in control, and it seems like they're going to tie up this series. I don't know if the Farah's going to get back. No, not in time, and we are tied up on Ilios.
Well, there you go, the Shanghai Dragons May cosplay, nice to see here. But look at that. I mean, when we think about the Shanghai Dragons composition, it was I think it was so difficult for Seoul because they kept running that Widowmaker and the Farah. And when you're in that closed space on the point and the other Farah on the side of Shanghai, when Ding can zone you out, as long as you play well around those sight lines, you just don't have the point presence to compete with the Doomfist.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, some inspiration for Gamsu there. You have the actual Hammond figure staring you down the entire time. I'm not sure if that would be inspirational or distracting. Hard to say. We're going to well. It's going to be the third and final point here on Ilios to see who takes an early lead in this series with really important playoff implications, as we mentioned earlier.
We're seeing similar compositions, but considering that Well is generally a more open map than Lighthouse, especially around the point, it is easier to get those Widowmaker sightlines and Farah sightlines to pick people off or to punish the approach of this durable composition.
It's a big kill early on. Seoul Dynasty with a major advantage after that Diva taken out. They'll try to take it. They're going to try to contest. Fitz going after the Farah. One more shot will do it. Same with the Mercy, who doesn't quite connect. Gamsu down, though, so now Shanghai has lost both of their tanks throughout the course of this one. Envy will be back soon, but Youngjin drops as well. So Seoul Dynasty gets the control percent going first this time.
It's going to be tricky. And Shanghai look like they're committing to this. You know, both of these teams really doubling down on their composition regardless of map architecture.
Yeah.
As much as I felt like that last point was favored towards Shanghai's comp, I feel like this one's really favored towards Seoul's.
Oh, the Doomfist can be a little bit tricky because you've got so much verticality to worry about. See if Youngjin can deal with it. He's probably the best Doomfist in the league, so I wouldn't be surprised if he could. Nice shot by Fitz, but doesn't find the headshot. There goes Youngjin. That's a problem. Ding taken out. Seoul Dynasty in a good position to keep holding this one, and oh well, you're in it. Envy uses that charge right before he gets hooked by the halt.
They're going to get the resurrection too, just a good place
Oh, hi.
for Flood to go down.
Bonus. I think he was trying to go for Gamsu, but Lupi just kind of popped out the back there. And it's always better to hook that on in the end. It's going to be Seoul Dynasty holding onto the point again, crossing the 50% threshold, getting closer to winning this map.
I just don't know who you're going to catch here if you're Youngjin. Maybe you're trying to go for Jaehong, but he's got a long sight line to heal his tanks who are going to be playing the point. So you really have to get back there. Hope he doesn't hit you with the sleep dart.
Yeah, Coma. Ooh, nice shot by Fitz. He's found a couple of those on the Mercy, actually, on the Shanghai side.
Yeah, but it's so much easier on this map than the last one.
Sure is. You saying you could hit those shots?
No, I did not say that.
That's what I was getting from that comment.
I would never make that claim.
I just wanted to confirm, you know. 84%, 85 now for Seoul Dynasty. A few ults in the bank. Shanghai Dragons coming up on some of their own, but desperation certainly setting in for Shanghai. Fleta just waiting a barrage. Not a chance here. Trying to protect his tank as the health drops on Marvel. Goes around the corner. There it is. Unloads into the team. Shanghai Dragons in a lot of trouble. Double kill for Fleta, and Marvel gets rezzed. Gamsu's supercharger out of commission. Fitz trying to run for his life right now. The rocket's coming in fast and furious. Shanghai Dragons so close to taking back the point, and even a bloodthirsty Mercy kill at the end. Toby finishing off Ding, like you mentioned, and it looks like that might be it for the Shanghai Dragons, and they can't even get there, even with Michelle trying to help them, in fact, at the end. That the map's going to go to Seoul. So there you go. Ilios goes away to the Seoul Dynasty. They'll take the early lead in this series, gunning for the top 6. We'll see if they can keep it up when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
We're pretty different.
We're all unique in our own ways.
Somos muy diferentes.
Verizon knows everyone in your family is different.
There are so many of us doing so many different things.
That's why Verizon lets everyone mix and match different unlimited plans.
Rash is the gamer.
This is my office.
And now with more plans, everyone gets what they need without paying for things they don't. New plans start at just $35.
The plan is so reasonable, they could stay on for the rest of their lives.
Oh, did you get that on camera?
The network more people rely on gives you more.
Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. In a battle of top Overwatch League teams, the Vancouver Titans were trying to steal the third map of the series, Hollywood, against the London Spitfire. Haxel charged up Genji's ult, but just as he used it, the Spitfire's resident Roadhog, Fury, hooked him into Prophet's waiting Blizzard, ensuring they would retain control of the point.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch League. That's right, Seoul Dynasty taking a lead over the Shanghai Dragons early on. But let's take a break for a second to talk about something extremely important.
What would that be?
Something near and dear to my heart. That's right. It's time to award the Bloodthirsty Support of the Week. Yeah. That's right. It's time.
I like how pumped up you're getting.
I'm so pumped up about this. That's right. It's time. That's the thing I do off camera all the time. I'm posing. Guys, it's like a sideways dab. Anyway, one of the players, a runner-up, a close but no cigar kind of player is Jaehong, the Seoul Dynasty's flex support, one of the OG bloodthirsty supports. Let's take a look at this clip against the charge. And this is just good basic Jaehong on a cleanup. You can see getting a couple kills here or there. Ends up being a 3K. Finishes it off at the end with a sleep dart on the Moira coming out of spawn on the right. Just flicks it over there. Knows she's going to try to get to the point. No, denied. So bloodthirsty, yes, but also intelligence. And you know, we like to be cunningly brutal, but we also like brutal cunning as well. But our winner, that's right, it's Guido from the Washington Justice with a bloodthirsty 4K on Route 66. That's right, firing through the amplification matrix. Kinda wins that 1v1, doesn't get the final blow, but that's okay because he already got 4 of them. Yeah, Guido, our bloodthirsty support of the week. You know what? Back in Korea, he was an MVP in a finals.
As a tracer player.
That's right, as a DPS, as a tracer, and you know what? He never left that behind. He said, you may put me in the flex support role, you may lock me into this role, but no. At the end of the day, I'm still a damage dealer extraordinaire. It was I like watching it, but let the man play tracer again. Let him get back there at some point.
I think,
folks.
You know, it's just too easy to play tracer. He's like, I need a handicap, no mobility.
Right. That's right. Zero mobility.
Projectile.
Weird projectile speed to kind of have to deal with. Yeah, so there you go. Guido, our bloodthirsty support of the week for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Jaehong, so close. He was so close. And you know, I've always said Jaehong's been one of my favorite players ever to play the game. So good on the Ana. Like, this guy was putting together plays like no one had ever seen before. And in my opinion, he and Chips Hyan from Team Envious back in the day were the two players that in my mind wrote the book on how to play Ana. And so it's great to see Jaehong still killing it in the league right now.
Yes, you've always been the Ryu J Homer of our duo.
I'm the Ryu J Homie for sure, yeah. Well, Ilios goes the way of the Seoul Dynasty. Now we're going to Hanamura for our assault map. We'll see if possibly the Shanghai Dragons can tie things up. I think this is going to be a very close map. I would not be surprised one bit to see this map go the distance between, or see this match rather, go the distance between these two teams. And with so much to play for too. You know these guys are going to go all out. You and I were talking a little bit about map 1 during the break and how stubborn they were being compositionally. It kind of feels like the coach has just said, hey, play the heroes you're best at. And don't worry about anything else, just win it in the skirmish, you know?
It's just a lot of limitations when you do that. And we talked about how the compositions that we were seeing really, I think their success was really depending on a lot of the point architecture. And that didn't seem to matter to the teams, sometimes in their favor, sometimes against.
Yeah.
And well, Shanghai, they're going to run Youngjin once again on the Doomfist. Doomfist, probably not awesome here on point A, and point B, on the other hand, definitely have a lot more opportunities to play with the vertical architecture of that point and closer walls.
Well, it's like what I tell my team in ranked platinum. Just play what you're good at. Play what you're comfortable with. Who cares about the meta, the map, and all that? Just play what you're good at. I don't think that always applies at professional levels of play. But
say,
in this particular match,
that's not going to get
apparently it does.
That's not going to get you through the Overwatch League playoffs.
That's right, but it will get you through plat.
Solid advice, though. Solid advice. Cops are going to be roped in right there.
That's right.
little bit of interference run.
Soul Dynasty on the attack here, by the way. Oh, that's some low health. All right, gets a bit of healing. Fleta tries to loop around the side. This is a Pharmacy Pharah battle like we have not seen for a very long time. He's going to focus on the ground now for now. And Fitz takes out Ding. He's like, I got the shot, man. Don't worry about it. Fleta can focus on the door. And that's a lot of damage coming in. Ding does get res. Coma there, but that's less healing coming into his team now. And that's Gamsu getting very low health. A concerning moment. Gets hit with the anti-heal as well. And Envy is sleeping. The sleep dart from Jaehong onto Envy prevented any defense matrix shenanigans from happening there too. Coma drops again. And Seoul Dynasty has a chance here to take point A. They took a couple losses, but the respawns will be there faster for them.
Envy actually got a very long-range kill on the D.Va there. So with Toby down, might be a bit of trouble for them. They are going to get the D-Mech, however, on Envy, who was defending the point. Youngjin has returned.
Indeed, the Doomfist certainly be disruptive. Gets hooked. Oh, man. Gets out with the uppercut. Close call there. Ding down again, and they're going to have none of it. Seoul Dynasty trying to lock this up. Nano Boost finds the kill on Tacoma in the end, and that's point A with over 5 minutes in the time bank for Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, quick take. They're going to move on here.
Keep in mind, that's you only get 3 minutes now when you take point A instead of 4 like you used to, so that's a really fast take.
Yep, only used about half their time on point A, and now they'll try and get something here to force the Meteor Strike out, and then they will head back. Fleta again with the elimination onto Ding.
Yeah, he's been coming up upper-handed in a couple of these here. Ding does get rezzed right away.
There's no way to res Fleta. Fleta went a little bit too deep there. That means that Seoul Dynasty do have to back out in the end.
You know, when we've seen Shanghai Dragons defeated in the past too, one of the main factors in that was the enemy team's ability to handle Ding. And Seoul Dynasty's been doing a pretty solid job of that, whether in the Pharah v Pharah or the Widowmaker, or maybe now the McCree from Fitz as we see the swap come in.
Yeah, I think that's the smarter play, especially if you're going to be on the attack here.
When you got the Doomfist coming at you as well.
Yeah, you have, it's a mid-range hit scan. We are on that patch where he got the increased firing rate. So you can deal with the Pharah and you have the flashbang for the Doomfist, so clever swap.
Right. Looking for an opportunity here. And Fitz. Oh, goes down. Ding managed to find the rocket anyway. Well, he tried.
Slid a rocket in there.
Yep. Threads a needle. And Shanghai Dragons get a little bit of defensive breathing room. Fleta on the Mei as well.
Yeah, they
mentioned earlier.
Trying to make a transition where they can wall off some of those sight lines on their approach into the point. Shanghai though, plenty of ultimates available. Seoul going for more of a reset here. So Matrix over this first hallway, gonna block it off with the wall.
Nano boost. That barrier's not gonna last too long. Oh, but the nano boost to D.Va right there. Doesn't matter. Marvel down. Youngjin finds a kill on the side of the fight while Ding is distracting everybody with the Pharah shenanigans. That's a lot of damage coming in though. And Seoul Dynasty tries to get out, and they're gonna take a lot of losses in doing so.
And you know, this isn't surprising. We talked about this at this. Oh, somebody's nerfing something.
Yeah. Oh, Envy nerfing Jaehong and Fleta to the ground. That was a nerf bat.
And we talked about this earlier, but as poor as I think Shanghai's composition was for defense on A, it is much stronger here on B.
Yeah.
So this says that Shanghai really just trying to stall as much time out as they can at the first part of the map, and this is going to be their dedicated hold.
Well, you can control so much space with Doomfist and Pharah and those smaller areas, and the center of point B has just enough room for a Pharah to maneuver. It's close, but it's just enough. On board with Fitz on the McCree. Let it down already, though, so Seoul Dynasty gonna have to back off again, and now you're looking at about 2 minutes in the time bank. Things getting a little bit more stressful for the Dynasty here.
Yeah, they're losing people as they walk through this choke point right here.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're not able to get their Mei walls down in time, and their defense matrix, the coordination just isn't there to make it through this choke point, because you have to wall it off, you have to have your defense matrix down or your Risa barrier. Ding should not be getting rockets into that hallway.
And yet,
he does. So there's the
there
wall.
We go.
Oh, they made it to the high ground this time.
All right, and it's going to be the Electric Cowboy right off the bat. Deadeye, Nano Boost, trying to find that bar. She's up in the rafters, though, and he has to end up Not getting anything out of that flashbang, not connecting either. They didn't engage when he thought they would. Anti-heal on the Youngjin, but he's not taking any damage, so it doesn't end up really mattering too much. Now the sleep dart. Oh! Sleeping the bar, but Youngjin there to bail out his team with the 3K. It was all a clever ruse. Distraction, if you will.
Well, I mean, it was a good idea. It was a very nice sleep dart onto Ding, but Youngjin, again, that Doomfist can be so dangerous.
Yeah.
On that point, we're going to take a look at him.
Watch that again.
It's coming around the flank here. He knew they were going to get distracted. There you go, there's one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just beautiful combos. Youngjin is so good at Doomfist.
We said earlier, pretty sure this guy's the best Doomfist we have in Overwatch League right now.
Certainly a contender.
Yep. It's tough to find an argument to somehow Doomfist can be played. There's the map. Seoul Dynasty getting really aggressive. Gets hit with the anti-heal, though. They've got a few ultimates to use. Another Deadeye comes in from Bits. Protected. Oh, gets two! The Pharmacy! Found by the Deadeye. Dead to rights. Gets another one onto Gamsu and Envy as well. 4K for Fitz, and it's all clean up now as Seoul Dynasty takes it, and just like that, they turn it around.
Yeah, they do end with less than a minute of time, though, so that might be impactful later on.
Certainly could be.
We'll see how the Shanghai Dragons attack is going to go.
Yeah, well, exciting finish to that one with a Fitz 4K. We'll see if Seoul Dynasty can deliver on the defense right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Hi. Hey.
Fall in love with thousands of brands with Prime Wardrobe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hanamura. The cherry trees are in bloom all year round, probably because they're robot trees in the future. They can just bloom whenever they want to, or whenever you want them to.
And do you want them to bloom right now?
It's not up to me. For the map designers, they have chosen that they are blooming.
Maybe they just only fight on Hanamura during cherry blossom season. They just wait, so it'll be the most beautiful time for combat.
The most beautiful time for combat. I think Sun Tzu said, make sure you fight in the most beautiful time of the year.
Interesting.
All right, yeah, it's going to be the Sombra defense for Seoul Dynasty.
And Ding
and
on the Sombra attack, and they're going to switch to the Doomfist as well.
Huh, all right. Oh, now the swap again.
So I was wondering why Seoul was not playing with Sombra on some of these points instead of Mei, honestly, especially on their point B attack right there. They have the opportunity. Well, if they're running a Pharah, it does make it harder to run both. You could run McCree Sombra, and I think that might have been a better answer to the Pharah Doomfist.
There. Oh, Jaehong taking a lot of damage. Gets the healing, though. Gets back to his team. They're going to just jump onto Gamsu here. Super low. Yeah, it's an easy kill. Nice hook. Nice hook onto Ding, and he gets hacked. Oh, that's called teamwork. The hook, and then Fitz gets the hack as he's low enough to be hacked. Beautiful.
I think you really need something to shut down Youngjin's Doomfist because he's just running rampant right now. And we'll see what they can do with it. Obviously, the Sombra, if you can get a hack or an EMP onto the Pharmacy combo, it can be very effective.
Well, you know, that's kind of the classic counter to Doomfist, too, as everyone, you know, has said for a long time. Oh, Sombra, just hack him, right? When he comes in, hack him, and doesn't use his abilities, doesn't get the bonus shields. It doesn't always work out that way with a good Doomfist on the other side, but it's certainly a tried and semi-true strategy.
They got hacks now.
Yep. Walking around. Ooh, that hook again. Michelle going for some pretty stylish hooks here. Hit one already. There goes the Immortality Field. But Envy out of the mech right now for Shanghai Dragons. Fitz going in. Gets the hack. He's got the EMP now as well. Ding gets a kill on Jaehong, and yeah, it's time. There's a hack. Gamsu drops immediately. Youngjin follows as well. They're going to drop the Blizzard onto that too, and no escape for Koma and Luffy. And that's going to be Seoul Dynasty holding strong here on point A. 2 minutes to go for Shanghai.
Yeah, Ding just going to go ahead, reset off the side of the map. The only one left on his team.
Yeah.
And now Shanghai is struggling. So this is the first real adaptation that we've seen from Seoul to what Shanghai is running, and I like it.
Yeah, I think it's working really well so far.
Much better.
They've still got 2 minutes to contend with. We did see Seoul Dynasty take point 8 later against Shanghai after a good defensive start. Toby swapping over to Lucio.
Yeah, that's actually huge. He did it to get back to the point, but now they don't have the immortality field and the extra healing, which is pretty important here.
Yeah, it is a bit concerning. Batiste throws out so much more healing than Lucio does right now. Gamsu taking a lot of damage as he just kind of chills out. The Sand Garden, I don't know what that's called. Zen Guard?
Zen Guard, there you go.
Michelle a little bit low. Ooh, the anti-heal doing work. And he's gonna do cartwheels up onto the top boardwalk there. Marvel does get the kill on Nakoma though. No more mercy for Shanghai Dragons, and Envy may be out of the mech soon. If he is. Right now, gonna go ahead and use that self-destruct. Gamsu gets the kill on Fleta, and things looking okay for the Shanghai Dragons despite the early losses. Dynasty though pushing back onto the point, and with Fitz's EMP, they have the tools. They give him the nano boost as well. Full faith into Fitz, and Gamsu down. Your faith has been rewarded, and Fitz gets the double kill. And a good hack onto Envy for good measure as they go on. Sleep Dart, that's gonna be a DMEC for sure. Oh, but the reload. Oh, now they got the heck. Okay, there we go. Don't yoink. Don't make me wrong.
Yes, and so Fitz gets the nano boost, and when he sees that Youngjin is going to get nano boosted as well, he knows Youngjin's coming in, so he hears the audio cue, and that's when he hits EMP, meaning that that nano boosted Doomfist is not going to do anything at all, and he just runs over. This has been an excellent swap here on the side of Seoul.
I mean, now it's a 5v6 with about 12 seconds to go for Shanghai Dragons. Full-on desperation mode. That supercharge is basically going to last to the end of the round. Michelle's got the whole hog. Oh, misses sleep onto Doomfist.
Sleep dart.
Sleep dart for Jaeyoung, and a finish as well. The bloodthirsty, nearly bloodthirsty support of the week. Getting bloodthirsty here at the end of A, and they can't get there. Seoul Dynasty will take Hanamura and take a 2-0 lead in the series.
Why didn't they do that sooner, Dylan? They can switch over to the...
I don't know.
To switch over to the Sombra, make it look easy.
Better
get
late
that
than
full
never.
hold. Very nice.
Well, the Dynasty with a 2-0 lead. Needing that map differential, needing those wins to get in the top 6. We'll see if they can keep it up after the half.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile, and by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Trying to make sure they don't slip out of the important top 12. And they've got some work to do in this one. It's so up 2-0 over the Shanghai Dragons coming into the break. What's up, everybody? The blue crew is black here for halftime.
The blue crew is black.
No, back.
Back.
Right. Yeah. The blue crew, we're back.
Navy.
Guys.
Is that Navy? I don't know.
Navy. This is all blue.
I'm not a designer. I'm an Overwatch analyst. I don't know.
Well,
People
guys,
dress me. I stand here. That's what I do.
Well,
I'm a designer.
Guys, I'm having a couple of flashes of the past season because Fleta's playing like his MVP self from last year so far in this matchup. What do you guys think?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, this bodes very well for the Seoul Dynasty, honestly. Yeah. We had a little bit of a... When I looked at Seoul Dynasty as a team, this seems like a bit of a kind of silly... I don't really know how to word this. A silly viewpoint on the Soul, but it's always felt when they ran Fitz and Illicit, they didn't really have star power, if you will.
Okay.
It kind of feels like Valiant of last year in a certain way. They were getting the wins, they're very consistent, but they never really had a player that really popped off in key moments. You can make an argument for Illicit in some cases, but Fleta was always supposed to be that player.
He always was, for sure. But I think it's more to do with the fact that Shanghai really struggle against Pharah, and particularly Pharah Widow, which is weird. It's some kind of odd cosmic irony, I think. The Shanghai Dragons utilized Pharah Widow so well in Stage 3, and that was what carried them to their win. And yet they have a 30% teamfight win rate versus Pharah comps, and only something like a 40% win rate versus Widowmaker compositions. You add them together, it equals losses for the Shanghai Dragons. And the Seoul Dynasty knew this, and that's one of the reasons they ran Fitz and Fleta. They don't normally do that. They normally have Illicit in the lineup in some way. And this hasn't really been working for them the whole time, but as soon as they get out there, there are some very weird rounds on Ilios where teams are just full holding the entire time. I think every round, one team got up to 99% and then was finally able to take it.
It's like you live by the Pharah, you die by the Pharah.
Yeah.
And Ding's been doing a lot of dying by the Pharah. Actually,
I mean,
they're about equal here in this match.
They are quite equal, yes. Yeah. But Fletter is also having a lot more room as well because Fitz is supporting him. You know, Fitz is always there. He's getting the amount of kills he got into Coma in that initial map 1 was absurd. He was dead in majority of the matches. You don't have your Mercy to pocket you with the damage boost and the healing. You're gonna have a bad time, as you can see statistically here. Right.
Okay, and moving forward into Hanamura, the Seoul Dynasty with the full hold at the end there, and a solid attack round as well here.
Well, very strange, honestly, because I had faith in Shanghai, apart from the fact that Fleder came in and absolutely bopped Ding again. But I had faith in Shanghai being able to hold this for a while, because when Fleder was taken away from the Pharah, the thing that was posing such a problem for the Shanghai Dragons, normally you can see at the bottom there, they don't actually perform that well with Fleder in their default setups. Their teamfight win rate has, generally speaking, in Stage 4 been pretty poor with him in the lineup. But just today, man, it's working so well for them. The full hold on Hanamura is devastating for Shanghai. And so many times, Youngjin came in and got multi-kills, but they just couldn't turn it into a win.
Do you think that they've kind of recognized the Achilles heel of the Shanghai Dragons by keeping Fleder in, running that fair? You think that's part of the strategy?
Totally agree.
Well, I also think a big part of this is Shanghai as well, forcing a composition. They don't really want to play the meta. They don't enjoy playing the meta. They don't like playing Mei compositions. That's why you're seeing Ding and Youngjin playing the heroes that they're good at. Ding on the Pharah, Youngjin on the Doomfist. But it's not really the meta where you can play that unless you're playing at peak performance levels, which we did see from Shanghai. But this isn't the game where we're seeing that. And often you'll find teams like Seoul Dynasty are kind of picking apart those compositions with just a change here and there.
Wow, it's the game of chess they're playing here. It's pretty interesting. Well, big playoff implications in this match, and the Dynasty still have a chance to break into the top 6, but they've only got one more match to do so after tonight. If we take a look here, what are you guys thinking about these remaining schedules here?
I think for the Shanghai Dragons, there is still an opportunity for them to actually bomb out of the top 12. So our Stage 3 champions could lose here. And you see that they're favored in their game against the Eternal, and the underdogs against a Spark, but it's fairly even. But if they lose both of those matches, they are probably going to be out of the top 12.
That's absurd.
And their chance of ending up outside of the top 12 doubles with a loss here to the Seoul Dynasty. So this is actually a big game for them.
Yeah, 6% to 12 roughly.
Yeah, roughly. Those are the numbers, roughly speaking.
All right, and here's a look at the play-in tournament bracket if it were today. So these teams aren't necessarily locked in, but if it were to be today, this is the teams that would be there, and this is how it would look. Man.
Honestly, I'm concerned for both Dragons and Dynasty at this point.
Yeah.
Because you look at the Hunters, mad upset potential. Charge, incredible spree at the moment. Rain have yet to be beaten in Stage 4. If either of these teams cannot secure a top 6, they are probably not going to make playoffs.
Yeah.
They would only have to win one game, but against any of those opponents in the Friday matches, that's so difficult.
Honestly, though, the weird thing about, okay, I'm going to go into a weird side point here.
Okay.
You look at the play-in tournament right there. Yeah. If we were to carry that out and the favored teams were to win, Charge would be going up against the Shanghai Dragons. And Guangzhou Charge, this is a point I'm going to be going into tomorrow, but a little sneak peek at a Watch Point pre-show, if you will. The Charge actually match up terribly with the Chinese franchise teams. Now, there's some hidden reason behind that, and I'm not going to go too deep into that, but that honestly might be a more favorable outcome for them.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy either way, though. As soon as you get into playoffs, it's anybody's game. But you want to get your best seed possible. And neither of these teams are really putting themselves in the best position, especially the Shanghai Dragons. Seoul have that better opportunity, though.
Well, under that idea of thinking, the Charge wouldn't even make it out of the first round against the Hunters if it were today. Because
Exactly. Yeah, so it's a weird one, right? Who knows what's going to happen in that play-in tournament? It's going to be fantastic.
Indeed. Well, if the Shanghai Dragons want to make it into the play-in tournament, they need wins right now. They need to pull off a reverse sweep because they're currently down 0-2 against the Seoul Dynasty. We'll see if they can get back into this game in just a bit. Stay tuned.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
We live with AT&T, and we are well past the honeymoon phase.
Occupado, Tom.
AT&T, what's this I hear about you
most likely have a much better map differential.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is even if Seoul Dynasty loses this series, as we look at our map set going to Blizzard World next, even if they lose, even if they get reverse swept by the Dragons, it's still only going to knock their map differential down by 1. So they'd be at plus 13 instead of plus 14. So they're still in a really good shape no matter what. Obviously, the match loss hurts, but their map differential is so good. We're going to Blizzard World. Are you ready? What do you want to eat from Snacks Ramis, Monty?
What do they serve there?
I would imagine they serve ghoulish delights. It's a bunch of undead things.
So, people?
Yeah, well, you know, that's where Kel'Thuzad lives, right?
Uh-huh. Does he eat people?
I mean, probably. He's like
Isn't he a lich?
Undead lich guy, yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
Four horsemen are there.
I remember that from the Warcraft 3 campaign when he became a lich.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is, by the way, a super good campaign. And Warcraft 3 Reforged is supposed to come out this year.
So
you
can't
can
wait to play that. Actually, I'm super excited.
As a Warcraft 3, I started casting Warcraft 3 in 2004. So
yeah, boom.
Blizzard hired me to cast Warcraft 3 stuff in the off-season. Thank you.
I've casted Warcraft 3. I didn't know. I casted a WCG. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew the icons from World of Warcraft, so I knew what the abilities were. I did my best. Seoul Dynasty on the defense here on Blizzard World. Shanghai Dragons on the attack, going for the Hanzo Mei again. Meanwhile, Seoul Dynasty Mei Widowmaker. Shanghai Dragons tries to come through the Fargo Deep Mine.
All right, mix up here from the Shanghai Dragons, going for the Hanzo now.
Yep.
They may decide, Seoul Dynasty, that they don't want to play this Widowmaker now that they've seen this composition incoming. So we'll see what they do after the spawn. Respawn on Fitz.
Yep. Fitz really trying to find those shots, but no luck so far in terms of shots connecting with heads at this point. Nice hook, though. Brings in Gamsu, and he pops that Fortify, but even the damage reduction, not enough to survive. Sleep Dart onto Marvel, though. Seoul Dynasty pushes forward anyway. There's Ding drop it. Young Jin gets headshot by Fitz as well, and Seoul Dynasty. Strong defense early on, and you know, if you're Shanghai, you still have 3 minutes to go. You're building some ultimates.
Yeah, that's the power, though, of Seoul Dynasty running to Zenyatta. When you have that Discord orb, if one of your tanks gets pulled in, the purpose is to go after your front line because it's the easiest target to pull, but frequently it's not the easiest target to kill. If you have a Discord orb, however, it becomes much easier to kill those big tanks.
Very true.
Oh, goodbye.
Uh-oh. No, what can you say?
Thank you.
The
Thank
wall
you for
went
the
up.
demonstration.
The wall was perfect. Jaehoon is even like, you know what? My Discord orb is doing a lot of work, so I need to get the final blow here. Makes sense. Hanzo debates, doesn't need to use the bathroom. He's going to rejoin the fight. Kills the Venomite. And Infrasight coming in now for a Fitz. So Seoul Dynasty with even more information about what Shanghai is planning here. Oh, Fitz is getting aggressive. What is this? Fitz! Fitz, you animal. What are you doing? You're so crazy. But Luffy down already.
Oh, man, this is a crazy flank,
operation.
The Infrasight, rather, goes away. He did his job of zoning out the Hanzo while the rest of his team murdered his support.
There you go. You hate to see it.
Maybe you hate to see it.
I hate to see it.
As a Winston player, I am firmly in favor of killing someone.
Well, as a Winston player, I think you need to learn some new heroes.
Yeah, in this meta,
yeah,
I definitely do.
I think it's time to expand your hero pool. Fleta has that Blizzard too, so even when Shanghai Dragons makes it to the point, they've got a pretty good zoning tool. Ding does have his in just a moment too, but you can see Seoul Dynasty very close to having 5 ultimates up. Everything but the Infrasight, but they just use, oh, nice right click onto Luffy. The Icicle connects. Dragon Strike comes through. It's a lot of damage onto Seoul, actually. Luffy does get res, so Shanghai maybe with an opportunity here. Amplification Matrix expires. Now Seoul Dynasty pushed back onto the point. There's the Hulk. No hooks come in after that one, though. They could use no diva, but you get the idea. Jaehong with the Transcendence to keep everybody alive through that Blizzard. Toby got frozen, but they're going to sustain his life. There's the hook now. Oh, denied, but Fleta gets the kill in the Ding anyway. Jaehong drops it. Now Michelle walking forward with that whole hog, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Fleta trying to come back, and he does get the kill into Gamsu and onto Envy's mech. So Seoul Dynasty doing a lot with a little. And that's another hold with just 20 seconds remaining for Shanghai. This could be a full hold.
I think it will be, Doa. That was such a spectacular waste of ultimates on the approach by Shanghai Dragons. The Valkyrie came out so soon. Seoul Dynasty was able just to back off and wait for that to go away. Both blizzards were used at the same time, but Jaehyung just comes in and sits on top of the enemy's blizzard with his trance, negating everything, but that could change things.
All right, the Diva tries to come in. Can they even get there? Okay, they got the Sombra there. Ding arrived, but he's dead already, and Coma drops as well. No way the Shanghai Dragons are going to take this, not without a miracle. And I don't think, well, Michelle anti-healed, he is down. Jaehyung as well. As soon as I say it, here comes the Dragon Strike. Fleta in the ice block. Marvel does get the kill on the Blizzard, but they lost Toby too. Now the Blizzard comes in, that's right. Fits on the Doofus. Gamsu in trouble. They're going to get the kill anyway. So Shanghai makes Soul sweat a little bit. They make him sweat, and they even have the numbers advantage at the end. Soul Dynasty holds.
Fitz's swap to the Doomfist actually saved them. It was a 2v3 in favor of the Dragons, but they just couldn't get back in time.
Fleta counting the people on his fingers at the end there is like, how many did they? Okay, all right, we'll take it. Full hold for Soul Dynasty. Perhaps an easy map win and a series win when we come back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
As your life grows, so do your needs. And with Bank of America and Merrill, the benefits you get can grow too. As a preferred rewards member, you can enjoy priority service and exclusive discounts, so your growing life can be more rewarding too. What would you like the power to do?
Wow. Soul Dynasty. Giving the Shanghai Dragons Fitz. With a player named Fitz. There he is. On your screen right there. And you know what? Guess what, guys? Because Soul Dynasty got the full hold on point A, the least they can do, the absolute worst result for the Dynasty on this map is a draw. Which means that they've already won this series. Because the most Shanghai Dragons can do is get a map win in our fourth and final map. And that would still only mean one map win to the 2 wins of Soul Dynasty in the first half of the series. So Soul Dynasty has this one in the bag. The question is now, how much can they boost their map differential? Because again, looking at the playoffs, that's going to be important.
Yeah, definitely important for them. I think most importantly, though, for Soul fans watching this is that Soul looks really good.
Yeah, they do. Oh, can you do it? Can you hit the shot? Oh, trying to thread
Tried
the needle, no.
the Prophet special there.
That's right, yeah.
Doesn't end up working.
Not this time. A swap over to the Mei, Fits on the Hanzo, and Soul Dynasty only needing that one tick. The idea there was that if you get the pick, you can take the point really easily, get that first tick into 65, but they're going to swap it again. Fled over to the far, and Fits on the Widowmaker now. All right.
This is because they see the Doomfist again, and they're going to switch over to the McCree, which I think is smart.
Yes.
Again, could be the Sombra one more time if they wanted to, but this is pretty. This is more of an open point. So,
anti-heal on the Ding as well. That was a big bio grenade from Jaehyung. Fits down.
Critical elimination.
Oh, Youngjin. That's right. But Ding down. Toby gets the res on the Fits. Can they get the res on the Ding? They can, but they lose Youngjin in the process. Soul Dynasty has a chance to push forward here. There's a halt. Gamsu pulled in, and he can't survive. Slowly but surely, Soul Dynasty grinding down the Shanghai Dragons, and that's right. Who cares? They don't even need to be on the point. It's emote time. Michelle swagging out of control as they approach what's going to be a 3-0 in just a moment here, barring some sort of divine intervention for the Shanghai Dragons, but it don't look like it's happening right now. And Soul Dynasty are going to lock up Blizzard World. A 3-0.
Easy for Soul Dynasty.
Yeah.
Now, Shanghai might not be the strongest opponent right now, given the meta, but Soul looking very cohesive tonight.
That's right. It's Independence Day in Korea over there across the Pacific Ocean. Soul Dynasty setting themselves apart from their opponents, the Shanghai Dragons. We'll see if they can make it a 4-0 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Zip Chair Gaming, the official chair supplier of the Overwatch League.
Land Rover, above and beyond.
Flying Ace, that's right, the skin that you can get for yourselves for the victory that the London Spitfire achieved last year at the 2018 Overwatch League Championships. That's right. It's a very cool skin, isn't it?
Yes. What would your commemorative skin be, Dilla?
I don't know. It would just be my face stretched out over Winston's chest.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah. I'd buy that. Somebody should make a t-shirt of that for you.
my face stretched
out over
I mean, I could make that t-shirt, right? You know, who knows?
Encourage him to wear it on stream. Hit him up on Twitter.
That's right.
Provide a template for it.
They're at GG Doe, let me know. Well, guys, Fled is pretty good. Don't know if you noticed.
Well, I hadn't noticed for a while.
He's good today.
I am noticing right now, though. Yeah, he's been on fire today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, really, again, coming live on the Faro when they needed him most. Seoul Dynasty starting to look like the anti-NYXL, coming alive towards playoffs.
Yeah, if we look at it too, you know, we talked about him coming in. He had about a 37% team fight win rate coming into this series.
It wasn't great, yeah.
Where Fitz was the only player on his team over 50%. It definitely was a risk, but it seems like they at least have figured out a strategy that's going to be successful against the Shanghai Dragons using Fleta.
I think it ended up being very specifically good against Shanghai. You know, because again, you kind of neutralized Ding, and Shanghai still kind of struggling to think about, you know, well, aside from Ding, who are we going to put in? Youngjin or Diem? I don't think Youngjin was the wrong choice, perhaps, today. And you and I were talking about this during the break as well, but the tricky part is where Ding is playing the Mei, then you're going to try to have Youngjin on the Hanzo, and it hasn't looked super great, so you keep running the Doomfist.
And the Pharah, because that's what Ding is good at.
Exactly.
And then,
but you'd ideally have you know, Ding running the Pharah and other compositions too, or the Hanzo rather in other compositions, and it's weird. The Shanghai Dragons have a strange cool problem.
Yes, and there's no clear person, because I think we can assume based on what we're seeing that DM may not be comfortable on the Hanzo.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then it doesn't make sense to put DM in necessarily.
Right.
Instead of Youngjin, but it does limit your ability to play Widowmaker right now. So they've got a lot of awkward problems where there aren't clear players that are going to play the Mei, the Widow, and the Hanzo that are so central to this metagame.
And so here we go on Route 66, the final map of this series. Seoul Dynasty trying to get that 4-0. It would be so big going into playoffs. Nice headshot on Gamsu right out of the gate for Fitz. Ooh, nearly had that headshot lined up on Koma. I thought we were going to see it there for a second. Ooh.
That was the most excited I've ever seen you get for eliminating a support, though.
Well, I'm okay with Mercy. Immortality field for Seoul Dynasty. Hey, I'm just being honest. Oh, and there's a hook. Hanzo trying to leap away. Youngjin goes down, though. Marvel claims the first kill of the match, or the map rather, for Seoul Dynasty. And there goes Ding as well, but Toby falls. The freeze onto Luffy doesn't matter too much, and Shanghai Dragons striking right back, and they look like they're going to be able to get this payload moving post-haste.
Koma is just so bold in his resurrections. He still is the slipperiest Mercy player in the league, and he has no fear about coming into a team fight and just trusting his teammates to protect him while he resurrects in the front lines. So
yeah,
definitely helps out there. Koma has decided that it's not time for Mercy any longer. It will be time for the Lucio instead. Makes sense. You need to close that gap into short range when you're playing with the Mei and Reaper combination.
Yep, that's right. You find ways to speed boost the Reaper in there now that Nano Boost doesn't give a speed boost anymore. It hasn't for a long time, but it used to, hilariously. Who's going to go in? And teleports. Meanwhile, Seoul Dynasty can't keep Fleta alive. That was interesting.
Did he actually get the
off there.
Blizzard out? I think he was killed in the animation.
I don't think he did. That's the thing. Blizzard has such a long startup animation that you have a pretty good chance of it being canceled. That's why you see a lot of Mei players immediately ice block after hitting Q. Goodbye, Ding. He gets a Blizzard off, though.
Just pay for it, but it doesn't matter because the payload still there.
That's okay. They finished point A.
Yeah, Luffy was just sitting there with the Ana with a clear line of sight for healing out of the payload, and now Fleta.
Guess I'll just die. Going back to spawn to regroup with his team. This kind of stops despondently. Hey, Color TV.
About time.
Best price in town. Well, there's no competing hotel really, so I guess you're simultaneously the best and worst price, aren't you?
There was until that train fell on it.
Well, that was a diner though. That wasn't really a hotel.
Well, there was a hotel there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. Before the great Route 66 hotel fire.
What was it called?
I don't recall.
Oh, it's not a, you're not a very good historian. Young with the kill on the ding. Youngjin with the death stuff. It's a nano boost actually used onto Michelle as he chases Youngjin away. Meanwhile, Youngjin has a nano boost from Luffy. He's gonna go ahead and shadow step over, come in behind Jaehong, and he's not gonna survive long coma. Gets a finishing blow there, and that immortality field for Seoul Dynasty. Not gonna end up doing a whole lot. Goodbye, Fleta again, who seems to be kind of just walking into the enemy team at this point. And Shanghai Dragons, you know, not having any trouble at all pushing the payload. And yeah, Seoul Dynasty won the series, and that's great. But remember, map differential is still very important looking at playoff seeding. So you're still going to definitely be trying to win this map if you're Seoul Dynasty.
Yes,
you think anyway.
You would think they would be, but they certainly are not playing like it right now.
They don't look like they want to win it right now.
And they're not switching to the Reaper either, which is what we see most of the time in this corridor. They do force the self-destruct, and Marvel does not get exploded.
He's okay. Youngjin. Go ahead and shadow step out again.
That's pretty weak Blizzard from Fleta. Didn't catch much of anybody, and he's not going to stop the payload progress either.
Yep. All right, sound barrier hits everybody on Shanghai despite the Maywall. They're going to take down Toby first as they push forward, and despite that amplification matrix, doesn't seem like it's helping a whole lot. Jaehong finally gets a pick on the coma. Shanghai Dragons still moving that payload. It's finally going to get halted for the moment.
Been a meager defense for the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, the Maywall blocking off healing from Marvel as well. They're going to use Immortality Field on the Seoul Dynasty side, and that's a Death Blossom. Some of it gets absorbed. They're going to throw in the Self-Destruct as well. Can they catch anyone? No, but it's okay because Seoul Dynasty picks up the kills anyway, and they finally get some defense going for the first time this map.
Yeah, it's they're stabilizing right at the very end, but there's so much time on the clock right now for the Shanghai Dragons. Making that Mei and Reaper combination work out for them. See what happens though. Seoul gonna play a little bit forward here, and that's a good wall to stop the hook.
That certainly is. So you need your Maze to be doing. Ultimates coming soon for Shanghai, just the Supercharger. Jaehong's got the Transcendence. Seoul Dynasty is gonna have their Amplification Matrix again soon as well. Bit of an advantage there. Youngjin just diving in, trying to do as much damage on the Reaper as they can. They do pop the Transcendence. Seoul Dynasty gets a little bit of healing out of it, but Shanghai Dragons kind of pulls back and just lets it expire. Like, all right, we're fine with that. Now the Halt Supercharger down for Shanghai. Youngjin walking forward again, gets anti-healed, but he's doing so much damage. Oh, nearly gets carved off by the Dragon Strike. The damage from the Blizzard plus everything else is enough for Seoul to reclaim the payload once more.
That was such a massive investment from Seoul, though, and now they're going to be dealing with the Shanghai Dragons with like 4 ults on the next push. So, by all rights, this should be a conclusive teamfight win and a finish of the map here for the Shanghai Dragons. Seoul's going to need to create some picks here if they want to have an opportunity.
Well, there's a possible pick. Gamsu there, but Youngjin going in to try to cover for his Orisa. He does exactly that. Good shots coming in from Fitzo, doing a lot of damage. And honestly, Michelle, Jaehong, Toby, all going to have their ultimates soon. Fitz on track to get his Dragon Strike quickly. So they're going to come right back with this. There's a self-destruct. NV just getting his mech back now. All right, the hook, oop, and let it down. Shanghai Dragons with the 6v4 advantage early on here. Can they finish it off? There goes Michelle. The Blizzard doing work for Shanghai, and the payload almost to the end.
Try and push it through. They're low on their damage dealers right now, the Shanghai Dragons, but they have that ice block.
Yeah, Amplification Matrix comes in from Seoul. Gonna get any kills off of it though. Sound barrier for Shanghai, gonna make it tough for Seoul. Toby's Marvel just walks up and punches Reaper. Why not? Yeah, die. I've heard it all before. Now Michelle, oh, he's really making him die with a whole hog. No escape for Ding, and Seoul Dynasty holds again. 1 minute remaining now for the Shanghai Dragons.
I love the fact that just the calmness with which Marvel dealt with that. When the Death Blossom came in, he was under the Immortality Field, so he simply strolled up and punched Reaper during the Death Blossom.
As you do.
Enough of that now, Reaper.
Why not? It's like, all right, somebody's grumpy. I get it. Time for a nap. Wow, 85% hook accuracy for Michelle right now on this map. That's crazy. I made another one coming in. Gonna just increase it. Bit of damage onto NV, and he's getting a shot from behind too. Those right clicks from Michelle doing a lot of work, but they don't get the DMAC. Fleta has the Blizzard. He can just plunk it down on top of the payload. He's going to use it right now, actually. There's a kill into Gamsu, so Seoul Dynasty very confident that it can win this fight. Not even going to save the Blizzard for the end. Well, why not? They win a fight here, and it's going to be nearly impossible for Shanghai to get anyone back to the payload.
And it is, and I think that's going to be it, Doa. The Shanghai Dragons, they squandered their best opportunity with a crazy ult advantage. Ding has a Blizzard, but he's dead.
Yep. And nobody can get there. Seoul Dynasty gave up point A and B really fast, but finally got the defense together again on C. And a strong finish from them.
Yeah, they've held for over 3.5 minutes right at the end of C. And that's impressive from the Dynasty. And they played forward, which forced Shanghai to use a lot of their ultimates as they were trying to work their way to the end. And then Seoul Dynasty, even in spite of the fact that they had suffered some losses, in the end, they were able just to use the respawn advantage to nullify the ultimate edge that was gained by the Dragons. Very clear method to win right now. Don't even have to finish the map.
That's right. Seoul Dynasty still in position to possibly grab that 4-0, and that would give them an actually really impressive map differential and put them in a position to really make a run for that top 6, avoid the playoff play-ins altogether. Meanwhile, Shanghai Dragons in trouble. Oh, Martin made Mechworks, machining, maintenance, mass production. M squared.
No, M to the nth degree.
M to the nth degree? I was an art major. I have an art degree. Monty. That's right.
And that's how Doa doesn't know about exponents. Now you know.
I know about, like, Xboxes. X-Men.
That's true. Much more relevant for your reference game on broadcast.
There you go. I agree. In my line of work, sure. It's very true.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And that's the end of that. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school, study hard.
Or else you'll turn out like Doa.
That's right. Nobody wants that. Seoul Dynasty on the attack. They complete 4-0 sweep. They'll tie NYXL with more 4-0s in season with 7. Wow, that is impressive. Seoul Dynasty. Quietly having a very good season here in 2019. And they finished strong. Waiting for the opportunity to follow up on a halt is Michelle. Nope, never mind. He's not going to. There's just a kill in the ding. They saw it use the ice block, so you can just pull him in there. No defense for that May at that point. And that's a lot of staying power. Calm it down. Fitz with a huge pick. Tabby as well. Finished off Gamsu, and yep. Goodbye. Whoa! Oh, and
wow.
Little extracurricular activities.
There's a lot of waving at Pilot Divas on the payload and attack crouching going on right now.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, nice lunge. Oh no!
Oh. You hate to see it.
I love to see it.
You'll notice too that the communication for Seoul has been quite good when it comes to Discord orb targets, because Jaeyoung is moving it around quite a bit, and especially comboing well with Michelle. Michelle still sitting at that 84% hook accuracy.
Well, now they're all dead.
Well, I guess they are.
Fitz.
Except for
a little bit of revenge on the young Jin there.
He's not dead.
Undead. Kind of. What is Reaper exactly? Maybe someday we'll find out. Is he just empty in there?
Is that true? I actually don't know. Have they revealed what Reaper is yet?
I mean, he's got some sort of weird bio powers.
Is he made out of nanomachines?
He used to just eat souls. I don't know what he does now. Fitz has to back away. That's a huge bio grenade coming in from Luffy there. Gamsu, though, taken out by the Dragon Strike before he has a chance to react. And Seoul Dynasty can push past now. Blizzard, I gotta be patient with that one. All right, that's some trouble for Marvel. Fleta taking a lot of damage as well. Goodbye, Fitz, and Ding goes down right before Fleta does. Either way, Seoul Dynasty forced back. Oh, all right. Killing a lot of tiny things is Envy with his self-destruct. Marvel's just going to take a nap. I don't know why Arisa was programmed to sleep, but apparently she was.
Well, how would you stop her if she went rogue, became a rogue Omnic, though?
I don't know. She doesn't move very fast. Just walk casually away.
She pull you back in with the Hulk.
That's true. Good point. Checkmate, I guess. Michelle, whole hog. Oh, goodbye, Luffy. A lot of damage. Jaehong still, though, gets picked off by the Shanghai Dragons. The amplification matrix for Toby runs out. And Seoul Dynasty and Shanghai trading blows right now. Seoul, though, still not able to push the payload. They've only got a minute left, so what was looking like it might be a 4-0 may actually end up being a 3-1.
That's a good hold from the Shanghai Dragons on point B. Seoul pushing forward around that corner. They're going to get their 2 remaining members back, Luffy and Envy. Now we're in that 1-push territory. And Seoul Dynasty, well, we don't have a lot. Shanghai Dragons will have a blizzard for this last push, as well as that sound barrier. That should be all they need to close this out.
That's right. On board with Ding. He waits, sees that blizzard, just go ahead and drop, or maybe drop it in. Waiting for that defense matrix, making sure that's not an issue. Goes right after the diva. He wants to get the D-mix.
He got he got it anyway.
Michelle turned it right around at the end. Whoa, tricky moves from Michelle.
That was such a good heat by Michelle.
That was the quick flick 180 to eat the blizzard. And now Seoul Dynasty trying to bull rush their way in here, but they lose Fleta. Got booped to death. Luffy down. Fitz gets a kill, but Youngjin returns to favor. Shanghai Dragons still doing well, and they're not going to let Seoul Dynasty close to the payload.
That was a style defense matrix eat, though, from Michelle.
It really was. A swag move from Michelle at the end. He's been good at eating ultimates all season, and at the end of the day, Seoul Dynasty take the series 3-1. But as their theme song plays, Shanghai Dragons at least comes away with this one with a map win and does a little bit of preservation for their map differential.
Yeah, and map differential is so important to the Dragons because you know they weren't doing so well in that category in spite of having a winning record coming into today.
Yeah.
And that could actually be the difference between top 12 and not making it into the playoffs at all.
It's alarming if you're a Shanghai Dragons fan. For sure. You got to be a little bit concerned, but this team, you know, has a bit of time to pull things together. We'll see what they can do for the remainder of the stage. Seoul Dynasty, though, looking good. Locked in already for the top 12. They're going to the play-ins no matter what. But they're making an honest run, a real good chance to get to that top 6.
I mean, they look better than the Spark right now.
They do.
You would definitely rate them above the Spark. So as long as they continue to win, and if the Shanghai Dragons can take down the Spark to close out their season, there's that opportunity for the Seoul to actually make it into that guaranteed playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's really possible. They just need to kind of like stick with it. And I wonder if the Fleta really is the way forward for Seoul Dynasty. I think it was a good one for this match specifically, but we'll see what they do in the next one. I'm really curious now. Fleta is going to be your player of the match, brought to you by Omen by HP. And what a day this guy had. Fleta, you know, the super hard carry, the Fleta deadlift was named after him, obviously, and the deadlift came back today. The power play was out of control.
Well, technically, the deadlift did not come back, but the carry did, and his Pharah was just so crazy. We got to see a little bit more of the May play. Got to see him shoot icicles through grandmothers' heads.
As you do, you know. 40 limbs on that Pharah today, and quite a few final blows as well. The majority of his eliminations by a little bit were final blows. Sub 10 deaths. That's a good day on a hero.
Yeah, it's definitely a good day on Pharah. The damage was crazy in that first round of Control. He was at almost 19,500 damage per 10 minutes on that single round there on Ruins.
So, do you think, in conclusion, Fleta is either A, just a really good answer for the Shanghai Dragons in this match specifically, or B, genuinely the way forward for Seoul Dynasty? Do we see much illicit after this, do you think?
So I'm going to say C, which is good in this meta. I think that the
C wasn't an option.
Well, I'm making it an option right now.
Gave 2 options.
I don't conform to your binary choices, Doa. So C is going to be yes, I think he was good as part of this game plan. Yes, I think he's a very inconsistent player, and I hope that he is the way moving.
Well, we will find out, guys. Don't go anywhere, though, because although the matches are done, the games may be over, but Watch Point is coming up yet here on the Overwatch League. Hope you've enjoyed the action on the maps. Now, it's time for some analysis action on the desk. Stick around, guys. Watch Point coming up.